All right. Hey, you guys. How's it going? Happy Saturday to you. I hope you're having a great morning. So I'm on here today because I need to share something, put my gloves on. And because I'm sitting in the sun, I have to have my shades on. So uh, it's today. It's just not one of those days where I can just not have my shades on and like, oh, I can deal with the sun. Today it's super bright, which is not a problem. But this morning I wanted to kind of let you guys know about a scam. So this is going to be one of those things where I hope many people will listen to it, and I hope that you'll heed and just not get scammed. Because I was almost scammed, and thank goodness the Lord has given me friends that are smart like Pastor Jay and has also given me discernment, which sometimes you have to use when you haven't called on anybody, right? So let me go ahead and share that this morning. I got to keep my eye on the comments because somebody might be in here soon. So we shall see. Anyway, so this morning I had woken up and I'm going to set the tone for you guys. The other day, you guys know that my son been going through some challenges right now of getting suspended from school, right? Those of you that have been following along, you know that, and unhappy about all of the entire situation. Just anyway, not good. So I've been planning for this holiday dinner that's going to be today, and I was sitting down, well, actually laying down, and I was getting some of the cards together. This was the other day, right? I was getting some cards together, and so I got a phone call from Navy Federal Credit Union. That's my bank, one of my banks. And so it was from the Navy Federal Credit Union phone number, like their 188 number, the legit number. So I answer it. This gentleman says to me, "Hey, this is Navy Federal Credit Union, badge number, blah, 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 blah. I'm calling because we noticed some fraudulent activity on your account. We just want to verify that none of those things are from you. You didn't do that." And I'm like, what? Because I'm already thinking about my son. And then I was like, now this? And so I was like, no. And so he said to me, well, there was a amount of $578 and change that came out from the super Walmart down in Georgia. Were you ever in Georgia? I said, no, I'm not. I've never been in, I'm not Georgia. Haven't traveled to Georgia for anything. He's okay. Well, there was another fraudulent activity. It came out of Texas for 200 something dollars. Were you in Texas? I said, no, I'm in Texas. He asked me where I live. So flag on the play, everybody. So just know your girl right here is doing this so you don't have to tell people where you live, especially if it's banking people. They know where you live. Like the bank knows where you live, right? You have to have your address and everything on file. So for them to verify that, verifying your address, you kind of see it normal. But for them not to know what state you live in, that's a flag on the play. I didn't recognize it because my mind was not paying attention all the way, right? I was like, oh my gosh, my account, my mind was going to my ex-husband who has done fraudulent activity with my credit and with credit cards. So I'm thinking, oh no, is he out there? Because he's tried to open big accounts in my name before as well. So I was like, is he out there doing stuff? Because he is a truck driver. So I was like, oh, so my head is going towards him. I was like, he's out there doing that stuff again. So anyway, the attempted or scammer trying to pose as a Navy Federal Credit Union person said, okay, he's like, well, when is your next funds going to come in? Do you know? Because we want to, give you an entire new credit, not credit, but an entire new bank account, which Navy won't do that, as I verified. So I'll get to that part later, but Navy would never do that. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's not gonna be coming till, like, the 30th or something, and so I gave the amount, which, once again, your girl did it, so you don't have to do it. Flag on the play, right? Flag on the play. Don't tell people that stuff, especially since the bank would know what's coming in, right? You have to ask them, they would know. So, anyway, so I give him that, and he's like, "Do you have a third party that you use for, like, that's attached to your bank account, that's attached to your debit card?" Another flag on the play. They don't need to know all of that, especially if you have Zelle. The bank already knows if you have Zelle, Cash App, and Venmo, and PayPal, and all those other ones that you guys choose to utilize or we choose to select to connect. People don't need to know about that. You don't have to give them that information at all, right? So I did. I said, "Yeah, I have Cash App." He said, "Oh, okay, good." He's like, "That's good to know." He's like, "That means, we have to make sure that, we might have to switch things over for Cash App and do that and walk things over and all that. And before we, close the account." I was like, "Oh." And so me, I was really emotional at that time because I'm crying. I was like, it's bad enough. my son's out here doing the most, right? And now my account is being like targeted for fraudulent activity for real. So, after that, got off the phone with that gentleman. And that was on, what's today? Today's Saturday, Friday. That would have happened on, I believe Thursday. I think it's Thursday or Friday. Either Friday. No, it wasn't Friday. It was Thursday. It happened on Thursday. So I was like, okay. So it happened on Thursday. And then today's Saturday because I didn't get a call yesterday. It was Friday. So yesterday, I get a I get a call in the morning, and I just happen to be waking up in the morning and still thinking about my son, and just like, oh, I have all these things I have to get done, and like, okay, I need to get up and pray, and I did pray this morning. I laid in my bed for a minute. It's like, Lord, thank you for waking me up this morning, Lord. Oh gosh, I'm trying to figure out what I got to do, you know. And then I looked at my phone. I was just happy to look at my Navy. I was like, okay, nothing's going on. And I saw a phone number that came in, and then the number called again. It was an 805 number. And it called again, and it called this morning. So I answered the call. I answered the phone, and I said, hello. I said, hi, this is Navy Federal Credit Union calling because we just want to talk about a fraudulent activity that's been happening now that happened, right? This morning, when that happened this morning, I was like, "Okay." Pastor Jay had already told me because I was talking to him about it. And he's like, "That don't sound right." And the way that the guy was talking about it, he was saying that they need to do investigation. They're investigating Navy, and you can't talk to Navy. Don't tell them that headquarters called this, and Navy headquarters. And Pastor Jay is like, "That don't make no sense. Why would what? You can't talk to Navy about Navy? Like, no, that doesn't even sound right." He's like, "You need to go to your bank. You need to, make sure go talk to, Navy in person." So I wasn't able to get up to, my credit union because it's far away from me. I don't have a problem driving. I just couldn't, there's too many things going on with the kids. So I just couldn't make it. Had dental appointments and everything. So I was supposed to go yesterday, but my girls had dental appointments waiting for them to get off school. One was sick, so just couldn't get up there. Anyway, um, so talking about that, I once again it was this morning, like at 6:35 was the first missed call, and the next one was 6:36. I have the phone at 6:36. So I answered the phone, and in my mind, I was like, "This is very early in the morning. It's sorry to wake you up, but this is, Navy Federal Credit Union badge number, blah blah blah." And he's talking so fast. I was like, "Your badge number, what?" And then because I'm trying to hear what he's saying, he's talking so fast, and then I'm looking. I was like, "I don't know that this is right." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I understand." I was like, "No, I already spoke to you guys from Navy Federal Credit Union on the Navy Federal Credit Union line." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, this is not a Navy Federal Credit Union line." He's like, "Would you like me to call you back on that number? Because the Wi-Fi is out." And Pastor Jay just verified to me today that the banks would be using that to be hardwired into anything. So I said, "The Wi-Fi is out for Navy." I was like, all the things is not making sense. First of all, you're calling early in the morning, which Navy would never do. And then you are saying the Wi-Fi is out. Like Navy Federal Credit Union needs to use a Wi-Fi. They don't do that. So everything started sounding very fishy, very scammy. It started sounding real scammy. And I remember what Pastor Jay had told me prior to that. It's like he's like, they can, make the number look like it's coming from the bank. And sure enough, that's what they did the first time. But Pastor Jay was saying, because of the greed, they couldn't contain themselves. They wanna make sure they had me on the hook. They wanna make sure they had me on the hook to, do the next thing. So I'm gonna tell you about the rest of the scam because I was, like the Navy Federal Credit Union person said to me today, he had set the bait for me. I hadn't walked through the trap yet, but the bait had been laid, had been set, right? So one of the things that as I'm sharing, and Lord help me with this, but I do know that the Bible says we would have to be wise as serpents, right? And gentle as doves. That's for everything. Like with friendships, with your stewardship of your funds, with your family, with you have to be wise. You really do have to be thinking and use discernment, right? Pastor Jay he was up, but I didn't call him. I called him afterwards. But I was like, I'm not about to call him early in the morning because he already gave me some information. So anyway, so I'm doing that. And I was like, and I told the scammer on the phone, I was like, "This sounds very scammy right now. I don't wanna verify anything with you." He's like, "We understand." He's like, "I'll call you from the." I was like, "No, I don't wanna tell you anything. I don't wanna verify anything else because you guys already verified everything. Why do I need to verify again?" He's like, "Oh, I just." I was like, "No, something's not right, and the number doesn't seem right at all. It's 805." He's like, "I can call you back." I was like, and I kept saying, "This doesn't seem right. It seems like a scam to me. This is feeling very scammy right now." He's like, and then he hung up. Click. So okay, so that's what it was. So for the first one, it's connected to the second one, so they're all working together, right? So anyway, uh, I go and I go and I call. I didn't even call Pastor J first. I called Navy. I went and called Navy Federal Credit Union. So this is a PSA, and this is one of those warnings that I'm going to work my tail off to get onto because sometimes I don't always download all of my things off of my my channel that I utilize and put it on Spotify. But I'm going to put this on Spotify so it can go out everywhere and make sure I get this on the Versive app and some other places as well. Uh, I want to make sure that you know this is a PSA for a bank scam alert. So if you do any banking, online banking, banking in general, please listen to this. And if you come back, replay viewer, replay listener, audio, it doesn't matter. Just this can affect you too. It doesn't matter. They're doing it for all banks, all of them, right? It's not just Navy Federal Credit Union. It'll probably Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, you name it, they're probably doing it. So whatever bank you're banking with, just listen to this. So anyway, I called the gentleman from Navy Federal Credit Union. Very nice young man. His name was Logan. He's very helpful for me. So I wanted to make sure I give him credit because he helped me listen and lay out the scam for what was happening. So he told me what happens and he said, "What did you tell them?" He's like, "How much information did you verify?" And I told him all that I had said. Excuse me. And he was like, "Okay." He's like, "Well," he's like, "That's so we don't do that. We call, but it's of a very rare occasion that we call you outbound calls. There's very rare occasions we do that." He's like, "But if there's a scam going on and there's money coming out of your account, what we do at Navy is we just shut your account. We just cut your account off. We just shut it down so nothing can come out. Like we don't leave it open. We close it so nothing else is going to be happening on it." So I said, "Okay, so that's one thing you let me know." So okay, cool. So the next thing he said, "What else?" I said, "They asked me if I had a three party, like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, all that." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "So they asked you that because it's like those third party transactions." He's like, "It's like giving someone $20 when you use Cash App or any of that. It's a literal cash transaction, and you cannot. We don't have any way to re- replace that or recoup your money once you put it in any of those things. So if you guys have any of these things, just know for bank scam alert, if you put your money into Cash App, to Venmo, to Zelle, to Square, PayPal, the rest of them that are out there, right? If you put your money in any of those and you send it out to someone, the bank cannot recover your money. So just know that if you put your money into Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, Square, PayPal, the like of all of the third party things, not saying anything is wrong with the third party, uh, you know, Cash App things. There's nothing wrong with them. However, the way that they are utilized, you will not be able to recoup your money, and the bank will not be able to help you once that money leaves your account and you put it into Cash App, or you put it into Zelle, or you put it in Venmo, or you put it in PayPal, or Square, or Stripe. It doesn't matter, all of them, because I know there's way more than the ones I just mentioned, but if you put it in any of those third parties and you put it in there, the bank cannot recover your money for you. So essentially your money is gone and you can't get it back. So you will be out of luck and they can't recoup it for you. You're just down and you're down bad. So then he told me the rest of it. I told him, I said I did verify the VA and the money that I would be having, which was bad on my part. I should have never done that. But of course, I thought it was legit coming from the Navy Federal Credit Union line. It didn't come from the 805 number, it came from that. And, I was like, oh, okay. So I verified that and I was like, that's enough. They already have my social because I've gone through identity theft like a gazillion times. So my credit's already locked up and everything from all their previous issues and all these different other scams. One day I'm going to just have a scam rundown of all the different scams so you guys can be aware of them as well. This is a newer scam for me that I've actually experienced. I've experienced some other scams too. I'll tell you guys about those. And a different one, we'll probably have a scam short heart share or a scam chronicles. Maybe we'll have that a scam series, something like that. Anyway, I'll figure that out, but I'm gonna lay down the other scales they've been to. This one's gonna add to the think, which is the hurt is now knowledge, which is a framework that comes out of the gift of finding God's love, guilt, and shame turned into my shine. The hurt is now knowledge. Even if I was hurt a little bit because I was a little bit, emotional about all that stuff, but there's hurt that changes into knowledge. And since I thank the Lord, I thank the good Lord that I was not all the way scammed, right? Didn't even get all the way through it. He or they, their whole group or whoever they are, had just laid the bait. They were laying the foundation so they could work on start building and building to get to the point where they would actually have me access the funds and distribute it to Cash App or somewhere so they could do that. So let me get back to the rest of the story. So Logan was telling me the rest of the scam because I obviously didn't go through the rest of it, right? It kind of stopped. So they told me I need to call back. They'll call me back on the 30th to find out when the funds are available, right? He's like, so what they do is they call to find out when your money's going to be available, when more money's going to be available, and then what they'll have you do. And he said he helped a young lady who's 22. He helped this young lady, and she was scammed. She gave, she said Navy called them, called her, and then they told her to take some money out of her account, put it into Cash App, and then go into a store and buy some gift cards so they could secure her account. And he said, why would we do that? We wouldn't tell you to go do that. That's a scam. And I'll tell you about I've had some of those credit card scams that have actually happened. Okay. And I've been through one just like that. And I shut down US Bank because of it. And I've been through a lot of banking and Western Union, MoneyGram scams. So this is another one to add to my plethora of scams when I was, going through a lot of things. So anyway, after that it was telling me how how the rest of it goes transaction. He's like, "There's nothing wrong with your account." He's like, "We can see anything." He's like, "But when they tell you they can see exactly where the transaction is happening," he's like, "That's we cannot see that unless you do an in-person transaction." So an in-person transaction, he's like, "We saw you yesterday going to Sprouts in Maricopa." He's like, "But that's because that was an in-person transaction. Those are the only times we can see when you do an in-person transaction, then we know where you're located and where you used your card, and we can see that." But when it's talking about online or using your debit card, we cannot see where it's located. Like, and he made a point to talk to me about one of my bills I pay, which is T-Mobile. He's like, T-Mobile's headquarters is in Washington. We don't know that you were located in Washington paying that. That's the headquarters, right? So that doesn't. We can't tell you that you're literally in Marietta, Georgia. Make a transaction. We can't do that. We don't pinpoint exactly unless it's an in-person transaction. So I was like, "Okay." He's like, "So and another thing, we don't use badge numbers." And he's like, "And we don't give out our ID numbers," which is a difference, a badge number, ID number, even the terminology. He said, "We don't give our ID numbers over the phone. We would never do that. Why would we would never give that to any of our customers at all. We don't do that." So I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "My advice to you, because he's like, you haven't been scammed. He's like, you can change your card if you want to." He's like, "But right now, everything's fine in your account. There's nothing going on. There's no $578 that they say had come. There's no 200 something." And of course, the guy today said there's another $200 that came on my account. This time he didn't say from where. He just said 200 something dollars. Want to verify that. So the other two kind of try to make it more serious and more urgent. Like, you gotta shut this account down, but we're not gonna shut it down yet. Don't do anything. Just hang on a second. So be careful. I want to tell you guys because the holiday season scams are on the rise. This is one of them. I'm sure there's more than this, but this one is very important. And I'm telling you guys to tell your loved ones, tell your friends, tell anybody that you know about these scams. This is the way I'm going to do it because this is one of the ways that goes out to a lot of people for a lot of platforms that I utilize and people that I don't even know. People that watch the YouTube, people that watch the Facebook, people that will eventually get on LinkedIn and all the things people will hear about it, and I can spread it this way, and I'll tell my friends as well. But to get it out to a bigger area, social media is the way that it can kind of go fast like wildfire and catch. Please be careful with your bank this holiday season and all the time, right? Don't answer any numbers, even if they look like they're the original number. Like, be careful and just kind of now that I have some knowledge, like kind of know some certain things about your bank to kind of know some certain things about how they operate, like even as a person. Would a bank person or a banking individual from Wells Fargo, would they say this? Would they give you a badge number? Would they even give you an ID? Would they give you that? And if you're saying Wells Fargo would never do that, Bank of America's people would never do that. If none of those banking people or tellers or anything of that nature would do that, you know that that's a wrong thing and you don't need to give them any more information. Now, for me, I have been a victim of identity theft so many times that I have to do extra stuff for when I file my taxes of a PIN and a code and all the things because of it. They want to verify it to me doing taxes. I want to verify a whole bunch of stuff. So I have to go through that extra process of extra things. But security is important for me, and I've already locked up my credit. I locked it up, a long time ago because of what my ex-husband was doing. So I had to make sure that I did that. So I'm just saying that because you could be the next potential victim of a banking fraud scam, and you don't want that. You don't want to be a fraud victim. You don't want to have to do any of that stuff. You don't want that. Okay. So I just wanted to do that this morning and share that. This is not going to be, I'll probably get on sometime later, maybe do a DB night talk or something. I don't know if I'm even going to do a DB night talk because today's a holiday dinner. So I don't know if I'll be too tired. Or I might do, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes something just to let you guys know how that worked out and how everything went. But other than that, just be very, very mindful this holiday season and going forward for 2026. Like, be prepared for the scams that are coming. And yes, we have technology that can spoof numbers and make it look like it's the authentic bank, the authentic anything. And it's just like all this stuff is so good as far as technology, but then it has a very deep repercussion when it does go horribly wrong. And you don't want to be on that side of things going wrong, right? So I wanted to share that because I'm going to go back and go finish my walk so I can get home and take my son to his job. My son, he just anyway. So I just want to get on here and put this announcement out here. Please be mindful. And if you have very amazing friends like Pastor Jay, I'm gonna call him out all of this time. He let me know, I was like, that don't sound right. He's like, why would Navy investigate Navy and then you can't talk to Navy? Like that sounds crazy to me. He's like, you need to go to your bank. Like it don't Pastor J. He said in 2 seconds of hearing the nonsense, he's like, yeah, no, go to your bank. Like do so. But I did the next best thing and I called Navy, which is another thing you can do if you can't get into the branch for whatever reason, because my branch is pretty far away from me. And if you can't get into why is the person driving so slow? That's weird. If you can't get into speaking to them directly, next best thing, call their main number. Sometimes people drive around here in this where you got to be careful. Anyway, so that's another thing you got to watch out and just you're doing a U-turn in the middle of the street. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I'm watching this convertible do U-turn to go slow and now it's going fast. I don't know, but anyway, I got sidetracked. That was the whole thing because I'm watching people watch me and I'm watching them. So anyway, back to the banking scam. Just this is an alert. This is a PSA. It's a public service announcement. Take it and remember it. Do not answer any calls that look like your bank. And if you think it's not, one of the banking people was telling me, go ahead and don't even hold on a second, guys. Lady just came over here, did like this, looking at me. I was like, what do you want? Are you a Karen? Gosh. Like I'm watching people watch me. Like I said, I have to be mindful, be careful. Because on top of the banking scam, right? People get snatched up off the street. And ladies, don't think because you're a fluffy gal, a voluptuously curvy girl, that they ain't gonna pick you up and snatch you, put you in a van and take you. I have watched that on the internet. They will pick up, it don't matter what size, they just coming for women. So be careful. When I saw that woman looking, I was like, what is she doing? What is she doing right now? I want to like, what do you want? And I've already watched you slowly drive, then slowly do a U-turn, then slowly come over here and go like this. Try to see what I'm doing, try to see who I am. I was like, I don't know you. I know I don't know you. I was like, I am an HOA board member in this community, but I don't know you. Like, what are you doing? So I don't know if she's gonna come back around, but all the kind of stuff, I just have to watch because sometimes people get upset when you do certain things. You're not allowed to be recording out here. Do you have a permit? And just start starting stuff. So I hope she's not one of those Karens. I hope she just keep it moving. Anyway, sorry about that tangent, y'all. I have to be very aware, and I hope you're aware too, aware of your surroundings, people walking behind you, people driving, all the things. It's like you have to be very wise in the season because there's so much going on. And I was listening to the song, "The Devil Tried Hard to Break Me Down." He was trying it. It's not her. He was trying. He was trying to, get stuff done. Like, yeah, your son's doing the most, and I'm gonna add some little insult to injury. So yeah, we're not playing those games, not today. So I definitely want to let you guys know the book is out, of course, to get to find God's love, guilt, and shame turned into my shine. And of course, you can see the audiobook either to the left or the right of your screen, wherever it's at. Just I hate pointing because I never point in the right direction anyway. But you could get the book on Audible too. So I hope that you will support if you will. It's a very impactful book, and I did see some encouraging messages that the book can help anybody going through domestic violence, and it's encouragement that you can come out of it. So please, if you know somebody going through domestic violence, it's not a fun thing. And during the holiday season, that can get even more, ramped up. So just know that. And if you have a friend, family member, get the book and give it to them as a gift for the holidays. Not that you try to tell them anything. Just, I thought this book, you'd like it. I thought, and it's not a long read. It's not like 500 pages. It's about 24, 23 pages long. It's a quick read and it's inspirational and encouraging. And I have my story in there. Some of my story is in there, and I'm working on getting the rest of it. So just be careful. There are a lot of people trying to scam and everything. Even when it comes to like self-publishing, I've had like about maybe 5 to 6 self-publishers coming to like, hey, we will publish your book for this amount of money, thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, no, and we can market it, we can share it for you. And then they go research my book and like, oh, it's already on the platform. So like, yeah, so what are we doing? Well, we can republish it for you. I was like, why do I want to do that unless I'm going to re-edit it? And how much is that going to cost? Well, you have to get everything for like a 3 month or 6 month period or a year to pay you how much thousands of dollars? I'm not doing that. I already shelled out my 8,000 for the lifetime of the book and Audible. I'm good. No, 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 thank you. No, no. So anyway, just be careful because there's scammers on all levels and all kind of fields and all type of industries. There are people legit trying to come after you and just take you for everything. So be wise. Listen, and if you have friends with wise counsel, listen, right? And also when you're trying to do something else, whatever that is, make sure you verify who it is. And if you don't feel comfortable with a certain amount, and that goes for like paying any merchant or anything, if you don't feel comfortable, then that's not the thing that you need to do. If you know that's not what you do. I felt comfortable with what I was doing with the publisher who I use, which I use Page Publishing. I feel comfortable. They're legit. They're totally legit. Because listen, I got my book for them. They totally did it. And there's a little logo, right? Okay. That's them. So I'm not gonna be using someone I don't know. They're not legit. They're not verifiable. You can't go Google and I'm like, I've never heard of you guys. So just be careful. There are people that are they're trying to get their money any kind of way, not by very legit means. So this banking is scam alert, the newest one for me that I've experienced. And I'm just gonna let you guys know, be careful. Okay. Please be careful. Don't verify anything with anybody. And if you have any kind of intuition or any inclination that says, "Oh, hey, I don't think I like this," just hang up. Well, there she goes again. I guess she came over here to pick up her friend. It was looking kind of crazy. But anyway, I was like, I feel better now that she's the convertible's gone. I was like, is she coming back? Is she going away? So good. So yeah, just wanted to put this PSA out here and just be careful, be mindful. I just want y'all to know that. And I thank you guys very much. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure I share that. So I'm gonna do like a half a walk, I guess, because I've got to take my son soon. And I'm probably gonna have to take him in my gear because I gotta take him soon. So anyway, I thank you guys for tuning in. You know, a big kiss from me to you. I love you with the love of our Lord Jesus Christ. Remember to be blessed, motivated, and always inspired to do what the Lord lays on your heart. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, always being a part of my lives. If you are here, replay viewers, for liking, sharing, subscribing to all my new subscribers, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing, and following me. I appreciate it. So please do all the things, the like, the shares, subscribes, the follows. Please, oh please, oh please do that if you would. It helps me. And for all of you that have been following me on the different platforms and have been commenting and encouraging me to keep going, even those on TikTok, like don't worry about the trolls. Just keep putting out, the message. Galatians 6:9. Let's not grow weary and well doing. Just keep on putting out stuff the Lord will have you put out. And this I had to put out, and I just want to let you guys know, please, please, please be careful during this holiday season. You do not, trust me, believe, you do not want to find yourself on the backside of a scam. I know it is go on some scams. Like I said, I might have to do some scam chronicles and have a whole conversation about that. And as for company season, I'm not sure when Pastor Jay and I are going to do our next set up covey season, but we'll probably doing something because then we get close to February soon. So I will let you guys know when those next ones are coming out. You guys tune in to watch those, and of course, you'll be seeing it on social media when I chop it up and send it out. So with that, I'm gonna bid you guys adieu. Thank you guys for being here once again. I am gonna get out of here, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Bye now.